Let me ask you a
Go ahead,
question.
ABC.
Hypothetically, how many shares would you purchase?
Me, I'd get at least 10.
Okay, I'm going to give you a different suggestion. Ready? Take the 10 shares. That's $700, correct? That's 10 plays. Play one play of QQQ following Russell, right? You'll probably make enough if you're good at following Russell and you understand what he's doing, right? And you average 40 cents a play, you're going to get about 15 plays if you're consistent and you follow him. First watch him, and if you could follow him, then what happens is, let's say, the other day I was kicking myself. I had 10 contracts at 13 cents that ended up at $6, and I got out at break even because I had picked them up at 51 cents and I averaged down at 13 cents. And I should have, it wasn't nothing. It was like $220, which overall for the risk that I take in a day is not considerable. And I had made way more than that for the day. I could have offset it, right? But I had to be right, and I just wrote it off. And then I walked away, and I came back, and I'm like, same fucking things was $6. So my $220, $800, right? And this is not something unusual for what Russell pulls off, right? So I would tell you take half of it and play with Russell's concept, but only after you've studied it. And then what you do is what I do with when I sell my premium. Every day I sell premium, okay? And I take half my premium and I drop it into 4 different things that I want to accumulate over the year. So for me, it's SCHD, it's QQQJ, it's DGRO. These are all dividend names. I'm older, so these are names where I want to accumulate a couple of thousand shares so that later on, and these are all in my retirement funds, later on, these things are shedding income for me, right? So instead of earning money and putting it aside, I sell premium, and every day I don't give a crap what the price is. I just buy it and I forget it because they're all indexes, right? So you could do the same thing. You could say, listen, whatever the reason you like it, right? And you want to own it, fantastic. You want to own it, do it. But sometimes you can figure out, playing something like, or what Russell does. I tell any new person or young person, learn what the fuck Russell does. This guy has
Mm-hmm.
created a systematically foolproof way to make money if you are disciplined and you understand the concept that it is that it's the 80-20 rule. 20% of your plays will make 80% of your money, and it will be exponential. Where in the flip side, we mentally need like 80% winners, and they could be only making 20% of the money, but we get all happy and you never really break out, right? If I had not touched that $6,800 could have funded my entire rest of the year's gambling habit on QQQ, right? At 5 contracts a day, right? You just think about that for a second, right? So Russell has this very unique skill set that I still don't get. I learn every day a little bit more. The reason is I'm older and I have a lot of bad habits to get rid of. If you're at 25, learn what the hell he does, and then take those winnings and then come here to Ad One and say, Ad, I made some money this week. I made $500 in my pocket, it, right? And then you take that money and you parlay it. Does that make
Then is
Yeah,
something
I
you
mean,
buy and just forget about for a while or a little bit, right?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking
With
for strats.
yeah, you obviously shop there, but yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, for the meantime, for like $700, like AVP said, turn it to something a little bit more first. Next thing you know, now you have a couple thousand. Now you're putting a couple grand into SFM. then by then it's already found its bottom, and then it's going higher. So don't need to rush into it, right? But it definitely looks like it's the worst days could be over or getting close. We'll have to be looking for clues of that. But I'm kind of seeing that in the wave 200, 2,000 days that I showed, or was it 5,000 days? So yeah, very interesting stuff there.
Awesome, good stuff.
Our COP on wave 200 is finally looking for the H1. No K assigned yet in the golden zone. Though ever since that Venezuela operation occurred, it's gaining some strength. It's making some noise. It's the options analyzer shows the odds favor the H1 rather than more lows. Right, that's good. Though this is something that's really volatile. It's so hard to hold options on this, in my opinion, or depending on what your strategy is, especially naked options, like naked calls. I mean, this thing is so volatile. This is something I would own shares in. I don't know the timing of when it's going to get H1, but it sure looks like it's heading for it, right? Just looking off that. That's one I want to go over. What else we can go over? Someone said now we can look at NOW. I think this company has been getting lit up a bit, or for a while. I've not viewed this in a while. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. This is a linear chart. Way down. So this is another one that might have a bottom. We'll click through this. Let me turn imprint bands off real quick.
I once traded this.
I hate it.
How'd it go?
So much.
You hate it?
I hate it.
So this is like a consulting, right? ServiceNow, something like that. AI consulting now. I think they pivot to. I'm not sure. I've not looked into this name that much, but we have a H1 on wave 3, right? The average brings us to open state 136. We got K assigned. So it's looking pretty good. It's flowing higher. Wave 7, it's kind of lagging to wave 3, but shows that it's kind of bottoming out there, right? Standard deviation kind of near the extreme 2.2. Now let's go back down, so that's good. 2% band. So let's pull up the options analyzer. Yeah, it's look at the odds, the currencies compared to the currencies of this L25 and H1. We're gonna get our H1 at some point. That's on the horizon. Go to wave 10 now. If I go back to 200 days, the standard deviation is at extreme 2.6. So far in the short term, it's showing a rebound, right? Oh, another one we can look at after this is Netflix, because that's been an outlier to the downside, right? Right after earnings down another 5%. I can look at that next. Let's figure this out first. We got open state at 118. I'd like to close at 118 away from 105. Yeah, like that 118 right there. Yeah. If I was long right
Is there
now, that's
anything
something I'd be
around
calling
110?
110?
Anything at yeah.
110. No, not for wave 10.
Yeah. I think if it wants to keep going down, I don't think it's fine support till we get to like
Wave 20.
105. Well, no, this
Yeah.
is just old school price action. 106, 115 area, right? That's where it spent about 4 months consolidating, right? So, this is a
Yeah.
critical point here. This should be a reversal. Where we are right now should be a reversal point. just in general, right?
Well,
So I'm curious to see what fractals say.
I would not call this a bottom on this wave 10. Just because we had like one green day today doesn't mean we're gonna be green
Yeah.
again tomorrow. I would not call this a bottom. I mean, it could be the start of a bottom, but of course we have this open state right here, 118. So that's something to be cautious about. I would not have entered today. I'll tell you that. There's nothing
What's
obvious
option
to tell me that's going
analysis?
to rise. What's that?
What is the option? What does the option analyzer say?
We're at L25, 6% odds of that with one occurrence just now, and then there's only one occurrence if anything past that.
Hmm.
And then -2. So very low odds, if anything more, compared to this H1. So the odds favor H1 rather than more lows. But it's still possible.
Yeah.
So I don't like
Oh.
try guessing, right? I don't like try guessing if it's gonna be an outlier or not. I like to see what's gonna happen first. You know, wait for the bomb to start.
H1 gets to 135. Maybe it peaks up and then comes right back
Mhm.
down, if that makes sense, and brings you to a lower cycle.
I'd like to see that standard deviation come down a little bit.
On the one daily, we're green.
Yeah, I mean it was up today, right?
Yeah. So it's crossing pivot as we speak on the one
We
daily.
can look at the splice too to see if tomorrow can hit that 118 or not for downside. But yeah, wave 20. You got 103.56.
Just look at the standard deviation though. It needs a cool down period.
Right. Like here, for instance, back in time, I would not want to go long right here with the standard deviation going higher, but I'd consider going long with the standard deviation going sideways right here, because then look what happened. That's when the bomb occurred right there. After the bomb happened after standard deviation went sideways. So this right here needs to go sideways, and then maybe we can see reversion higher. So
I agree with I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you.
and then I call this kind of like an end to K area. It's like a transition, compression to expansion phase. It's like the candles are all over the place. We have an up day, then big down day, big up day. It's like back and forth. And I like to wait for that to clear out, especially for options, because that kills option premiums. So the best entry for me would have been like right here, back in time, right? In hindsight, this period was over. The standard deviation went sideways, and that told me that price bottomed out. And then I want to enter right there, and then play the expansion. And we did have a little bit of expansion there. It was short lived, but we had expansion. Couldn't make money off calls. So something similar would have to happen here. So you can see the following candles or aggregations look like this. Kind of go sideways for a little bit. Then standard deviation goes sideways a little bit. The standard deviation is not going to go immediately down. I mean, it can, but most likely won't. It's going to go sideways first and then down. So that's what I see if we're looking for a bottom. Well, let's keep clicking through this. I'm going to wave 50. The guy has a picture of the 1,000 days of load Friday splice. Okay, so higher odds of a H1. I can pull up the splice my chart in a minute too. But yeah, Tim, the wave 50, we got 115 there, or 114.45 open state. Standard deviation on the rise. It's pretty elevated. This upside could be short lived. Regarding that splice, maybe tomorrow's up again, right? But then we come back down and close that. And then we kind of bottom out like this for a little bit, go sideways, and then go for H1. And then my entry would be ideally right there. That's how I'm thinking about this. So if I was gonna play this, I'd wait for something like this to occur first before looking for upside. If you're looking for upside, I never had any good luck going along when standard deviations is in the red and that elevated going up. So
I'm looking at the 7,500 daily, and I'm looking right now at the 0.8, and usually it takes
yeah.
about 2 to 5 days for it to come back down, hook down, and come back to the 0.01. So I think by the end of next week, this looks like it's going to get into position to move again, right? So you're absolutely spot on with the way you're drawing it. Just based on looking at the deviation, when we hit, which we just hit, this 0.8 line, right? It
Yep.
curves down, and it started to curve down. Today was the first day that it curved down, but it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 days for the
Yeah.
standard deviation to get into the golden zone. So
Makes sense.
what you got there is spot on.
Cool. I appreciate it. Yeah, it takes a couple days or longer for things go sideways and cool down, standard deviation. That's why I can never rush in, right? Once in a while you get lucky, there'll be good news underlined and you can be right away, but just be safe. You gotta look for some clues first. But as I've drawn here, that's what I'm expecting for this ticker NWO. I'll click through a couple more waves real quick. The wave 100. See if there's any open states down there. Okay, way down there, 99.66. Yes, there's potential there, right? And sometimes maybe the expansion doesn't work out, like PayPal. Sometimes the stock decides it wants to compress even more. Every stock, it seems, that has a behavior, a pattern of how long it likes to compress before it shoots up in the opposite direction. So that's a possibility too. Look at that green dots there, all that support. So maybe that's the bottom, right? So, and that's why, like I marked here, like that be my entry. My stop loss would have to be somewhere in there, because if we break through that level, we're ultimately going way lower right there. So I'm thinking that standard deviation being that elevated, it's kind of tricky for longs right now. We could have the right direction as an upside, but it might not be the right timing yet. You can see we've been in the golden zone for a while. We just recently left the golden zone, last month. This compression cycle started, in December. Why would it end right now on the 150? Back in November, I alerted Microsoft starting to end cycle on wave 100 and 150. And it's been 3 months since then, and it's still going, or about 3 months, and it's still been going down. So once you see an M assignment and the standard deviation is red, it leaves golden zone on the higher waves like wave 100, 150, 200. That compression cycle is going to last a lot longer than the wave 7, wave 10. It's going to be months and months, like we see in Microsoft and Apple. So go along on this. Though it's possible we can make money off of short-term call swing, right? Short-term as in tomorrow or as in into Monday, right? Like as I drew here, it went up, goes up a little bit and then it pulls back. So yeah, look at the wave 200, the red standard deviation, just leaving the golden zone. I mean, to me, it's not really worth trying to play this short-term bounce higher, because we could get caught in something, nasty, then it just pulls back pretty sharply, then, we're stopped out immediately. and we can put money elsewhere in a more obvious play. So, yeah, deep exit, yeah. That's what I'm thinking for this one. You know, it's been compressing for a while, and it's for a reason, right? I think because of the high competition in their space. I have to research more about this name, but I think that's what it is. Or just the demand for business is dying, I'm not sure. But if you're going to go long on this, maybe very, very short term within the coming days, but I would not be long on this week over week, go into the month over month. So that sums it up for this one, I would say. Let's see, SNDK SanDisk. Yeah, it's another crazy ticker. I think it's going to be up, what, a couple 100% year to date already? Or maybe the past 6 months? And up, it's up at least double digits year to date, for sure. This thing's been on fire. Yeah. But it may not be done yet. Look at the 557 open state. You know, it exploded and it came all that way. It's going to take a lot for it to not close that, I would think. I mean, just given the velocity of how big of updates it's had, it's most likely going to close that. But the 733, there's less odds for that to close, obviously. 5% being there, 20%. So maybe we see some like it closes or wakes up to it, and then we see a L1. That's what I would think for this, for wave 7. We recently hit extreme on the green standard deviation on wave 7. Yeah, wave 10. There's an open state way up there, but nothing rationally close. Wave 20 a little different. This has to decide if it wants to be an outlier and explode higher beyond this gray area, right, like this, and then go up to the open state up there, or it'll make it L1. And it's going to decide that pretty soon here, like which direction it'll go. My guess is tomorrow will be going down a little bit. Resistance, like we saw here, it broke above and then it came back down, compressed a little bit, and then shot back up. We see a lot of volatility when it hits this gray area, and vice versa for down here. So its standard deviation is getting up there, 2.4. That's 200 days. If I load more, it'll be lower. And it's still elevated at 1. But like I said, it has to make a decision soon here. If it wants to explode higher or trend lower in the short term.
You know why it shut up, right?
No, go ahead.
At a
know.
news event, Sanders, anybody with memory, there's a huge shortage right now.
Oh, okay, their memory
So
chip.
that anytime
Yep.
you have a shortage, right? You get that squeeze. So I'm
Okay.
looking at the chart, right? I'm just looking at your normal TOS chart. And if you look, we were doing really good on this stock. It went up to 285, came down, went back up to 286, and then you had an exponential move on 1.6. That exponential news, if you probably look back at the news feeds, you'll probably find articles on memory shortages, which is 100% what SanDisk does, right? It's in your cameras, it's everywhere. They do a lot of memory. So this is my assumption of what has got this thing to skyrocket. I mean, you've doubled. It's a news catalyst, right?
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
I guarantee you it has to do with memory shortages.
Yeah, I didn't know that they
But
made memory chip stuff. not know that.
That's their main business. Like any
Okay.
high-end camera user is
Yeah.
using their memory chip. So in Canons, they're all SanDisk,
Okay.
SD card, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
these
this run
SD
makes
cards.
sense now.
Sometimes the one that I have in my the one I have in my camera was like $400-$500, right?
Jeez.
It's no joke. It's not like $20, right? But
Right.
so there was this is critical mass, but here, let me find the news article while you're looking at the next thing.
Sure. Yeah, I did not know they made memory chips. In that case, I went long it a little bit. I was late to find Micron
Yeah, but
before it
here's my
exploded.
problem. The news is baked in, right? The news is baked in, right?
It is baked in now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So look what it said today. Today, these are just the headlines. Okay, this is not me. It says SanDisk stock slips as AI memory chip rally pauses. Right, but if you go back and you look at on the 6th and the 7th, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you saw. Hold on. SanDisk. Okay, 24. So on 1/6 was ER. So you had a double catalyst of ER and the fact that it shifted its focus on AI, right? Memory and shortage of memory. You had two huge catalysts that just send this thing exponentially up, if that makes sense, right? So earnings and
Mm-hmm.
then the shortage.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, there's a hype there. Can't get enough of the memory chips. That's why the prices have been so insanely high, has been seen on social media.
The big question now, the big question is, if they digest the news, you know, you could get a decent pullback. And look where we are on your wave one daily. We're up in the 5%, right? So I
Yeah,
would
well,
love for
this is the
this thing
splice
to
too.
get underneath. Yeah, I would love for this thing to get underneath, pivot, go retrace, and then I
Mm-hmm.
would not buy stock, but I would buy options in this to play it.
Really? Okay.
You know how much you could buy at 500? Let's just at 100 shares, that's 50 grand. You know where you could put 50 grand in like so many different places, right? To give you a
Oh yeah.
basket and move it around, right? So that's why I wouldn't, you know, and I'm always thinking lots of 100, right? Because I want to do something with options afterwards, right? So very rarely, except
Mm-hmm.
for when I'm buying stuff for my profits, do I buy less than 100 shares. It's always in lots of 100. So if it has options, so that I can do option strategies afterwards, selling covered calls, buying puts and things like that to do things to protect my positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I sell, if I own the stock, let's say 2 months, and I want to sell it, I don't outright sell it. I sell, at least what it takes for me to hold it a year in deep in the money calls. This way I have the cash, right? But I lose the stock, but now the profits on my stock become long term, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to pay the higher tax rate.
Sure. Makes sense. I'm seeing a pullback here. Let's take a picture of this.
Yeah, I think it's due.
Well, very, very due. I mean, there's not many odds at all that would continue higher. Just be a pure outlier. So,
Holy cow. A year ago, this stock was $27. A year ago.
isn't that insane?
This stock was $50 in September. How did we?
now 10 times.
It's a ton. Fucking insane. Sorry.
I
For
know.
the
I can't even look at it. Next stock. Oh
I
gosh.
held.
But
I just got rid of my last Palantir. Milk probably knows this because Milk and I were buying this shit at the same time. I bought Palantir
you know,
in the 20s, a couple of thousand shares, right? And I held it to 9,
mhm.
and then it got back to like 22, and I started selling 30 calls. And then one day it just popped,
Oh,
and I couldn't get out of it. And my
mm,
$22 average position, okay, I got out at 30 some odd dollars, right? But it went to 180,
yep.
right? 160. I was crying.
Oh god. Yeah, that really took off.
This
Didn't
thing
it?
took off, man.
Didn't take much.
But this
You
is
know,
what you can find when you come to your study sessions, right? Because
sure.
we bring up stocks, we look at it, we're going to find the next Sanders.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? We can with the tools we have. We totally could.
If you get 20, 30 people who consistently come and ask and bring up tickers and we look at it, we learn every ticker, we
Hmm.
learn fundamentals, and luckily we come across something, you know. I
Yeah.
really like that mineral print that you liked. A pullback, I think that's one
Yep.
that can be a move like this over 2, 3 years.
Sure. Yeah, that's all it takes. You know, we start with the technicals, look at the valuation, look at the management, everything we could possibly gather and research and put it all together and then form a thesis from there. And that's where the probability of winning is much higher rather than just playing something just cause or just because you feel it's gonna go higher or lower. You know, it takes a lot of time.
It does.
Look at Disney right now. This thing has been beaten
Uh,
down for a little bit. Have you
the
seen
son
Disney
of a
recently?
bitch
I mean, it's
announced.
come back up.
Yeah, no, I owned it. I owned
Oh, you
Disney.
do?
I owned it
Oh,
at
great.
150.
Good. Good.
You know, he's not great.
Okay.
I owned it at 150. I'm back over this stuff from COVID, right? But that's okay. I made money. I made money on it. I made money on it. I make money on it every month because I sell premium against it against my
Good.
business. But this fucker today ruined it by they're announcing a new CEO, and that's why it
Already?
went down. That's yeah, yeah. So Iger was
Iger stuff.
the reason why you know, but
Mm-hmm.
Iger screwed it by retiring again, you know. But I was really
Jeez.
hoping that we would break out of the 125 range. I really,
Uh-huh.
if we break out of 125, then I get to a point where I can let it go.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this has been going sideways for a while
Yeah.
in the desert. You know, I don't know the growth story in this, right? What's something that that's really good that could happen to this? I don't know. You know, new
ESPN.
CEO. I mean, yeah, they own the streaming, and I don't know. I have to look into it more. The
They haven't
Fractals.
converted on the CEO. They haven't converted on the streaming, and that's why the stock's getting hit, right?
Yeah, sure. We can see a H1 on the horizon potentially.
What does
Wave
that bring us
50.
to price wise?
Well, I'll put the 8% bands at 116. Disney target price 118.
Until we cross 120, it doesn't excite me. We should have some what do you call it? Some yeah. You see, go find me those open skates up there. That's sexy to me. That's
Yeah,
141,
of course.
142. That's what I want to see. And I
Yeah.
think one of these days we're going to get it because you saw that drop back in September, right? You saw that huge drop. Uh,
Mm.
we haven't filled that gap.
Mm-hmm.
See on the fractals, uh, right around September 20 something. You saw it went right from where the purple line is down below pivot. We've never recovered that. No, further back. Yeah, right there. Look up.
Right there.
You see the
Yeah.
price went from the top and it just went down one day. It just came off. We haven't got. I think that's due. I think that's due.
Yeah, I'd like to see Russell's analysis on this one, actually.
Yeah, mine's more
But
wishful thinking.
yeah. Oh man. Well, I just
Ladies and
like
gentlemen, that
anything
was
else, like
lithium.
keep clicking through it. Yeah. I'm surprised Iger's leaving already. He came back to fix the company. Now he's leaving, right?
Because he
So,
gets paid and he walks away, right? And then they'll
right.
call him back again for lunch.
They've all call him back again. Wait, we're not done with you. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Oh
know what it
man.
is? He probably has a ton of money tied into Disney. And every time they screw it up, he comes back and says, wait a minute, you're messing with my retirement. Let me come back and fix this shit and pay me more money
Sure.
to fix it.
He might. He might. Look at all these waves. All the higher waves are showing the same picture. I mean, it's due for H1, right? Look at this. It's due for it. It's getting there. It's awfully
Long,
close. Below 100. We're in the golden zone.
how many
We need a K.
days has it been since we've had an H1? It's been forever.
Yeah. Back here. That's May 2025. And then we made a high 34, then broke back below, and now, yeah, that's not H1 there. It did not, it was close, but it did not make an H1 right there back in October. But yeah, we just need to get a K on this. Seem to eventually use the golden zone, then get H1 and look at that 140 open state. Okay, that's
Oh, that would be
possible.
so nice.
That would be a pretty good commons return right there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at the price. It's kind of doesn't want to leave purple vector just yet. It's kind of holding on to it for dear life, going sideways. Well, the average move shows us lower, obviously. You got to make it mind up soon here. Get open state
The one
there.
daily looks more reasonable though. If you look at the one daily, you're seeing rotations up and down.
Yeah. So he'll make up his mind soon. And look at we're in the golden zone there. So then we could get an M, right? We've been in the K since May 2025. We'll see.
So you know what I've noticed? You're
Yeah.
you're showing us things that most normal fractal users don't use, and I want to point this out, right? Like I never ever looked at the 150 daily, right? But I'm now seeing
Oh.
a little bit more value in it because when I'm looking at the Disney One daily, you're seeing
Yeah.
continuous every 2-3 days rotation above and below pivot, right? But when
Yep.
you're looking at the you're looking at the 200, it's less frequent, right? But
Yeah.
it gives you a really good understanding of a longer time point view, right? You can't really react off of a 200 daily saying, okay, it's going to happen tomorrow. It's more
Sure.
of looking like at a weekly chart versus looking at a 1 hour chart, for example.
Right. Right.
Which is a great perspective that I wasn't looking at, right?
Yeah, and me personally, I wouldn't like to get stuck in something that I wouldn't mind holding for a while, or I wouldn't want to hold for a while. So
Yeah, don't say that. You'll end up like me.
yeah, well, I'm talking options more specifically, you know. So if I'm going pretty heavy on options, it's going to be on something I wouldn't mind holding for longer than expected. So I always look at the bigger waves because I like to see like where the current's flowing, ultimately on the higher waves, on the wave 200, where's price ultimately flowing? So
But short term,
that's
I
what I
think
like to look
we
at.
see 118, 120 again. You know,
Mhm.
We have a 118 on here. We've got a 116 open state. That would be a lovely hit, you know.
Oh yeah, 160 for sure. Looking at KMI now, Kinder Morgan, price of natural gas has been up a little over 50% the past few days off this Arctic blast receiving around the world. So now
It's
I'm
slaughtered
looking
this
into the natural gas stocks. What's that?
You're gonna get slaughtered until you guys are gonna get a lot of snow.
Oh yeah, yeah. We already have a lot, and here in the Northwest, and more's on the way. So the price of natural gas going up much higher past few days. Obviously, the earnings look better. The next earnings, on the way for these stocks. Forward PEs look better. This KMI, Kinder Morgan's exploding higher. It was up a couple percent today, 3.8%. I want to see in the higher time frames where this thing is ultimately flowing to, price wise. Let me turn a few things off real quick. Turn that off. Okay, that's good. So look at the wave 50 here. Look at that. The green skin indication, that black dot meaning squeeze indicated. It's pretty elevated, leaving the golden zone. It's already past the average move. This may remain an outlier, continue higher. I keep clicking through the days, the waves. Yeah, K just assigned, a couple days ago, the 16th. Let's see what open states this thing shows. Lots of open space, nothing yet. It might show nothing on the higher waves, we'll see. Yeah, nothing much. But
What are the open states
in the
on
wave
on
200,
the way down?
H2, what's that?
What are the open states on the way on a pullback? 24, 25, right?
Yeah,
That's a great opportunity for this. That's a great opportunity for
yeah.
this stock, I think, to own it outright. They're paying basically 90% of their earnings in dividends. So
Yeah, oh yeah, it was at 7%,
on
right?
a pullback, I like this stock a lot to
Mm-hmm.
put some of my winnings in.
Sure. Yeah, would agree.
But I'd like it right around
Look at that.
24-ish, 25-ish.
Okay. Yeah,
It
if we
seems
pull
to
back there.
cycle every year it seems to cycle. I think as you get into the warmer months, it'll cycle back down.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty similar
Sure.
to like energy transfer and
Mm-hmm.
EPD. Those are big dividend paying stocks.
Yeah,
Which one?
I look at ET too.
Energy
ET,
transfer
EPD,
and
enterprise,
EPD. They both run their midstream pipeline companies, but they pay big dividends, like
Mm-hmm.
10%, 9%, or 7%. But
Right.
like
They're pretty
energy
sensitive.
transfer is like, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ET's been on a run in the short term. I think it was up 2.6% today. It's at 18.11. Closed the open state. It's been open for some time. Let's
it
see where
looks like a
this thing's
slug.
flowing to. Yeah, if you look at the linear chart, like a 5-year, 10-year chart, yeah, it's like a slug.
It's like, yeah, it is the slug.
Yeah, right. Though when it's time to explode higher, this thing does, get there. It gets sharp. Look at all these stacked open states there. This could just be getting started. Look, yeah, see that 18.51, and then there's a couple up there. We're at
But then
18.11
like
now.
But then, like you said, it's all going off of the ice apocalypse that is going to happen.
Yeah, right. This winter could just be getting started. We've been seeing year over year the winters being pushed back further in the season. At least for the northwest of the country. So maybe it's just getting started with
Well, I
this, natural gas.
I'm in Houston, so not used to it.
You in Houston, yeah. You guys don't get much snow.
No.
18.51. I didn't think that would close, right? It's almost there now. About 44 cents away. That's where it could flow to day over day. Look at that wave 30, 18.28. So this has some open states that's getting really close to close. 18.38. 22.46. That'd be a big run. You see in the wave 100, the K just got started. This is why I always like look at the higher waves too. I like to see if there's a K or M assigned, because they could signify that, okay, we have an outlier in the wave 7, wave 10. It might look overbought, but you gotta look at the bigger picture because the wave 100 shows it. So this is why I always compare the wave 7s and the wave 100s. What's the overall story here? So the average move bring us up to there, imprint band right there. This could just be getting started. Yeah, 7% dividends, amazing for $18 stock. 150. We weren't at golden zone, but I guess it don't matter. I mean, in terms of finding direction, it's looking higher, flown higher. Yeah, and we're going for H1 on the wave 200. We're almost there. Remember those open states I just showed, the wave 20, 30, 50, just being above current price? And it would have to close those open states and those lower waves for this wave 200 get its H1. So I always go back and forth between the smaller waves and the higher waves. Because even though we look super overbought or super expanded higher on the smaller waves, the wave 200 showing is just getting started for price to get H1. Which may be, somewhere up in here. So enterprise product partners, I can look at that one too. So yeah, ET looks like it's more something I'd hold long term, mid to long term in shares. But there's a lot of open interest in the option. I'm not sure if it's only monthlies or not. I haven't looked at it in a while. Look at APD. Yeah. So the wave 7 shows that we had a good size expansion phase, right? We're kind of turning into an outlier now. But now let's look at the wave 100 and see what's really going on. Okay. How about the 200? Yeah, so for this one, look at that green standard deviation leave the golden zone. This could be a start of a cycle much higher above the average move right here. As long as the standard deviation leaves the golden zone green, it's looking good for staying long. Same with the 150, 100. You got 36.94. It's stuck at 33.19. Look at those stacked open states there. Yeah, I think it's a good space to be in as of right now. I think there's a couple other I could show. All right. I showed COP. Oh yeah,
I'm thinking about a
Netflix.
crazy.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking about a crazy option position on ET. I'm going to look at it tomorrow. I'm thinking about buying the stock here at 18 and whatever change it is. Let's just say hypothetically it's 18 to make math easy, right? And
Yep.
then I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell. So $1,800 goes out of my account, right? I just want
Yep.
to give the math for the younger guys, right? So I got to have
Yep.
$1,800. Then I'm going to sell the 5 January call. And I'm looking to get, let's just say I get a really good fill at 1370, right? So basically, I know it's going to get taken away from me in January of next year. So my outlay is 1800, right? Minus the
Mhm.
1370 that I get back, right? So 1800 minus 1370, which is $430, correct? But their dividend is paying 33 a quarter, right? So 33 times 4 is $1.32. So $1.32 divided by 430, I'm getting 30% on my money. And if the thing comes down to $5, I want it. Give it to me, right? I don't give a freaking out. If the thing comes down to 10, I'll probably buy back my call and own the stock, if that makes sense, right? If
Yeah.
the thing goes to 40, it doesn't make any difference. I still make 30% on my in my retirement account with my profits, and I'm forgetting about it. I set it up. I write a piece of paper, put it in my notebook, and move on.
Mhm.
But whoever
Love it.
gave AET, thank you. I'm gonna look at this and just set it up. And these are all plays that I want to give my kids who have small IRAs
Mhm.
and they want to do things passively, right? So you make $500-600 selling options or doing a play on one of your plays. This is how you could park some of that money.
Yeah. I like it. I love it. Great approach for a fair amount of return, right?
Look,
And the good
you know
odds
what?
of it
We're used to
happening.
obscene amount of returns because of the way Russell plays. On your money for not doing anything and just watching
With no
it
risk.
is
Yeah,
huge.
it is.
Other people, normal people, would kill for that. We
Yeah,
call it,
50% per hour.
a lazy position here at RCG, but
Mm-hmm.
you can only leverage so much every day.
Right. I like the medical names. I trade the medical names a lot, especially when the market becomes volatile because they kind of do their own thing. When tech is selling off because of whatever, these medical names remain strong. A lot of times they go up on days like that because money flows into them on days like that. This is GSK, big company. Also looking at Merck a lot, MRK, Bristol Myers, BMY is another good one.
That
You got
Moderna
Regeneron, you got Pfizer.
today was insane.
For which one?
The Moderna
Oh, Moderna.
mRNA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
It's
was
been
one
on
of
a
the
tear.
Periscopes. About $51 now.
Okay, yeah. I think QQ Live posted that today, right? Or recently, that
Yeah.
Periscope.
Yeah, Russell posted the Periscope. Yeah.
Yeah, that was giant. His stock's up giant in the past month. But if you look at the past couple of years, it's it was hammered for a while, and now it's kind of rebounding.
It's one of those COVID stocks.
Yeah, right. That thing was insane during COVID. Those options were so quick. Say it was BNTX, BioNTech. That was a big one during COVID.
Oh yeah.
See, that closed recently. Okay. That's not showing anything too crazy. Let's look at Bristol Myers, BMY. All right. Wave 3. Wave 7. I like looking through all these type of names just to see if there's anything obvious. Not anything obvious sticking out.
Take a look at BSX, Boston Scientific.
Boston Scientific, yeah. I'll look at that. Wave 20 daily. So that's medical like instruments and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Boston Scientific. Gotcha. Okay, there's an open state there, 65 for Bristol Myers. They could be flowing there. That's where the current could be going for the stock. Wave 100, you got 64. 62.93, 150. And then that was kind of goofy, but it's trying to go higher. So that's a big rebound name, but we'll look at BSX. It's got to be like a mid cap at least, or was it $20-30 billion company? Pretty big. All right. Wave 7. We recently had extreme standard deviation in the red. Now it's kind of going lower. I'm looking for H1 here, BSX. Bottom there at the 10%. Let's put some more days on and then look at the options analyzer. The L5, only one occurrence of L6 compared to H1, 6 occurrences. H1 always occurs at some point. So we'll get that soon. Theoretically, soon rather than later. Wave 10 kind of shows the same picture. Standard deviation near extreme.
And stalling.
Yeah. Wave 50. Okay. We do have the 83.69. Oh, that's like, this is where it becomes tricky, right? We just looked at the wave 7, wave 10 looks great for H1, but now we have it could ultimately go up.
Draw a trend line from the top peak of the 136.
Over here?
What happened, and then draw a trend line across.
Like this?
Yeah, you can draw it a little bit higher, but I mean, it's all arbitrary, really, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. I see that.
You have one test, 2 tests, 3 tests. So potentially, if it tests again, it potentially will break.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, for sure. There got to be about 2 or 10% band there. 2%. We already hit the 10%. It's the L88. I don't know much about their business. I don't know if it's overvalued or not. BSX. Let me look at the 48 times earnings. $135 billion company. Gosh. Another big medical name is MDT, Medtronic. You probably know that.
No, I was just typing that one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, hope we're not long BSX. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah,
Right?
no. they all do the same kind of thing, really, isn't it? Like medical implants kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it's just heart implants and stuff. So
Yeah. Competitors is like MDT, they got Stryker, all big companies. Look at the Wave 150. M just started last month. So why would I try along when the M just started last month on the 150? You know, every glimpse of upside could be immediately ended to go short, to go lower because the M just started. I would think we get to 83 soon, but maybe some upside short term, right? That with that Wave 7, looking for H1. Maybe we get that H1, but then we go lower after that.
I like the idea of closing the 83. I mean, yeah, or 78. I mean, you got 1,200 days there.
Sure. Gosh, I mean, yeah. Just a sign on Wave 200. I'm not going anywhere near long on this.
Yeah.
Even short, you know, one or even close to H1, you just short it right away, and then play from there. Maybe even test purple vector and then it gets denied. A lot of times that happens, and then we close those. But like I talked about Microsoft, that got started on, was it 150 or 200 back in November. Microsoft's still going lower, a couple months later. So this should compress for a couple months. That's what I'm seeing. We could look at MDT, a competitor, Medtronic, pretty big business out of Ireland.
Tax purposes.
So this looks even more positive than the other one. I think there's another stock that's kind of medical related. It's like Becton Dickinson. It's like, was it BDX? I think that's going for a H1 on the higher time frames. I can look at that. One of those off the radar, low key names, but the options should be fine. It's kind of one of those names that institutions only mess around with. Not a lot of retail. There's just nothing hype about it, but doesn't mean you shouldn't play it, right? And when I look at this, Wave 20, look at that K just got formed. Squeeze higher. Yeah. If I'm going with a medical instrument company's MDT, I think it's actually the leader in this space. It might be. $117 way up there. All it takes is 1K assignment for a price to really squeeze and get up there to 117. It looks kind of far away now, but we get K in the golden zone, or just go back to golden zone here and then go back higher. We can get that squeeze higher for sure.
That's a nice stack there.
Yeah. I don't know what the Wave 100 looks like. Okay. AVP must be writing down that ET trade. I got all quiet.
Oh, you don't even know. You know
He's
me
reading
well
about that
now.
dividend.
I'm looking at Kimi, ET, EPD, and PAA, and trying to figure out a strategy to park like 10 grand in these things just to kick me back
Awesome.
dividend. Look, I love these
Yeah.
conversations not only for your expertise, but helping me find tickers that I want to mess around with. And I
Sure.
love doing exotics, right? I like to do exotics. And the whole
Oh, yeah.
idea is you got to do something with the money you make. And it shouldn't be about buying fancy cars, but it should be about making enough money so that the interest you shed pays for the payment of that Ferrari.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Love it. Yep. Well said, if you ask me.
But you got me 100% dead center. That's exactly what I was doing.
Yep. Well, look at MDT. I mean, not only does it look great in that Wave 20, showed that case just assigned, even Golden Zone, the green standard deviation, but the flow, the current is ultimately flown higher to these open states. Unless we have some kind of outlier, I guess, way lower.
What do they do? Electronics. Ah.
I'll take a 4 or 5A Amiibo. Oh, I had a couple of friends that had one a while back. But I like my car now. A convertible BMW. It's perfect.
I'll be honest. Once you get married, you don't really give a shit. I drive a Honda Odyssey. You know, I gave my
Yeah,
wife
so
my
practical.
yeah, I
Yeah.
gave my wife my Audi 8L, right? And you know, once you drive like a car like an Audi A8L, or you go into like a Mercedes Benz or a BMW 7 Series, right? You don't want to be in a fucking sports car, okay? I bang my head
Right.
getting in, you know. I can't fix my balls. It's like, what the fuck am I doing in this thing, right? And and higher chance you get in trouble in two sides of it, and then it's so expensive. Okay, so you're
Get
better
the
off
upkeep.
driving
Yeah.
around the car. Trust me, you know.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I've done it. I've driven a sports car. I actually, on a day, spun out on the Belt Parkway and hit a wall racing.
Oh, man.
You know, I've done some stupid shit. You know, so I promise you, you're better off buying the fucking Honda Odyssey once you get married or in a long-term relationship. You know?
Oh, I get told a lot. Same thing. Yeah. I totally agree. You know, and plus the upkeep, you know, that too. You got bills to pay and all that shit. You know, last thing you need is a fucking replace the oil change that costs $500 in your sports car, you know? So,
I have a really good friend of mine, right? I have a really good friend of mine, and it was on his
yeah.
bucket list. So he wanted to buy a Bentley, okay? And then I'm like, okay, at least buy a used Bentley. He goes, no, I'm going to buy brand new. I go, why the fuck are you going to buy a brand new Bentley? Nobody knows whether it's a 224 or a 220, right? So finally, we listened and we bought it in Florida. We had it shipped up. To put on the fucking license plate on the front of the thing was $1,000. To put
Jesus
on a
Christ.
fucking license plate was $1,000. Okay.
Oh,
And he's looking at me. I go, I'm driving a 2014 Honda Odyssey. Fuck you. I got no payments. I don't care if somebody scratches my car. I'm like, go ahead, go ahead. I cut people off in BMWs. Go ahead. I said, where in New York City traffic are you ever going to drive that fast, right? And now with the
right.
fucking speed cameras, I can't even drive on a side street at 25 miles an hour. At 31, I get a ticket for $165. You can't afford. You can afford the car. You can't afford the fucking tickets. You know.
Oh my God. It's not worth it. And then they're not worth it, man.
I actually put my cars in different states. Like I have one car Texas plates. I got one car St. Louis plates. Right.
Oh, like
And the only reason I
Montana.
did it because you still have to pay New York insurance. The reason I did it is I didn't want a front license plate. If you don't have a front license plate in New York, you get a $200 ticket. Okay.
Mm.
I've left my car parked and I'll come back and be like a $200 ticket because I don't have a front license plate. That's why I haven't. I moved these cars to out of state. It's ridiculous,
Right.
and then I don't have to get inspections either. So that's
There you go. Hell yeah.
sorry I cut you off. Always feel free to shut me up if I talk too much.
Yeah, we're gonna shut you up right there. No, you're right.
There we go.
Oh,
Then
what
you
else am I
see.
looking at? But yeah, no, I don't blame you, especially in New York. Yeah, God, can't drive anywhere, let alone drive quick or fast. All that traffic. All right, I'll probably look at a couple more, I guess, before I go. What else I want to look at? I think Generac was what I want to look at. GNRC. This name's been a
They rob
turnaround.
you, man. They rob you. $20,000 for a fucking
Yeah.
generator.
Opinion about every stock, you know. I love it. I love it. Oh.
Russell and I had the same age. That just tells you. You know, I've done a lot of things in my life.
Yeah, that's great. I love to hear it. I mean, oh shit, this thing glitched up again. Damn it.
Generac is the leader in what they do. Great company. It just ran. It just ran. Ever since COVID, there's no looking back on this.
Oh yeah. Well, it came way back down, but it's making a turnaround now. It's up like 3% a month or whatever. I'm late on GNRC. Yeah. I was looking at it earlier. I am late, but I'll tell you, if we have a bad hurricane season, GNRC, Generac, GNRC.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it came off huge. Holy fuck! I gotta.
You missed out too.
I've been so focused on SPX QQQ that I don't look at stocks as much as I used to. This thing was a fucking steal back in October. It pulled back beautifully, and it was even there April of last year, right when we had that pullback. This thing is if you could purchase this at the right price, you just hold on to it. You don't buy it when it's hyped up. These things are all they go cyclical, right? You really have to understand this stocks will be cyclical, and you'll see it on fractals. But when it gets high, you just gotta wait. They make so much fucking money and they don't pay any dividends. How the fuck do you not do that?
I know. It's ridiculous. It's trading at 33 times earnings.
$8. 2024 cash flow is $8.90. How do you not pay a dividend?
I don't know. I wonder how much debt they got.
$42, give or take, right? So when this thing came down to 90, it's a no 2x book value, right?
Yeah.
Profitable. It just, I mean, I'm looking back up to 2021. It's profitable, yeah. It went from 830 to 5 and change, down to 3, back up to 5. I tell you, with all the bad weather we're having,
right,
they're not going to have a problem.
No. Yeah, I noticed every hurricane season, this thing kind of ticks up a bit. Spike in open interest in the spring months. And then if we have a bad hurricane like we did in that Tampa hurricane or whatever the year before, this thing always spikes. But I may hold something like this in stock though, shares.
Yeah, no, this would be a great thing for a poor man call. You really want to own this as a poor man covered call. It doesn't pay dividends, so you don't really need to own the stock. You need to leverage the options on this. And the way you would do this, if anybody's interested, is I'd go out to the furthest one, which is January 28th. Okay, so let's just say you want to buy it today. So today, if you were to buy this, you're laying out $17,534, right? Well, I could pick up the $70 call. Okay, so 70 plus, let's just say it's costing me $114. So basically, I'm getting 729 days of growth, right? A break-even price of 184, and the outlay of my pocket is $114 $114.50, so 11,450 versus 17,534. The deficit, unfortunately, is you've got a $10 premium you're paying for the time, right? But you're assuming the only reason you're doing this, okay, is because you're not getting a dividend, right? So why have $6,000 more in carrying cost, right? Remember, you could put that $6,000 and get 3% on it just in a money market, right? So think of it at least that way, right? And then the other thing is, if you didn't think this was going to go back up to $200-300 in the next year or two, why are you buying it? You would not buy this unless it was shedding money for you, unless that. And you could also sell premium on it. So, for example, I could sell January, okay, 27. So a year from now, and remember, I told you my break-even cost was 180. So go up to $200, right? Or let's go up to 220. So if you go to 220, you get paid $21 for a year. Okay. So guess what? No matter what, if the price goes up, you can't lose money. If it goes above 220, right? Your 185 covers it. Okay. So you're still making $2,000 on the 220 contracts that expire in January. So you still have a year on the other contract. And you're going to pick up the difference between 185 and 220, which is 3,500. So you're making $5,500, okay, if you get above 220 by January 27, okay? And if you don't, well, you still make $2,000 because now your cost is less, right? So the problem happens when it gets to 300 and you're like, fuck, why did I sell this? Well, because you have to be content on that fixed selling bit. But that's how I would play this $10,000, $12,000, and you want to own this at this price. I like it better at 100. You know, if this thing pulled back at 100, pull back to 90, yeah, I'm buying this, and I'm buying 80 delta contracts as far out as I can get, as far out as I can. I'll wait. I'll wait for it to come up $20, $30, and then I'll start selling $30, $40 out 6 months later because I'm content with them taking away my position, right? And then there's more advanced strategies where you could roll it. That's another different whole game to play.
Sure.
Yeah. I
Well,
like options.
Me too. Well, we can go over your Alibaba,
It's
right?
late,
As
man.
we
Yeah, you
discussed
can do
earlier.
it, but I'd love to see your opinion.
Well, just like, I'd rather touch up on it, I guess.
Yeah, let's.
You know, today was a good day, right? Up 5% or whatever it was, right? I don't know. Was there news on it? Let me
Yeah,
look.
they're selling off their AI chip section.
Oh, I gotcha.
Right. So this is the thing for the few that are still here that are listening. Fractals factors in the news in its positioning, right? Because previously, when you got these moves, right, these patterns, they were news related as well. So it factors in the news. So don't think, oh my God, there's news. Fractals factors in the news. So that's the fantastic thing about it. Like, you know, that 192.67, that's a great target. And because of what we did the other day, I kicked the can on some of my call options. I
Good.
raised them. I didn't get much.
Oh,
An extra $10 and a couple of dollars in premium allows me to do it. So I moved one up to 260. I moved one up to 210. You know, and tomorrow I'll look to see if I can move something up. Obviously, I got to give them time, but that's okay. I've been holding this shit for a long time. I'll take the premium, and I'll take the extra dollars. And if it pulls back, no problem. Let it expire, and I'll sell it again.
right. I like it.
Yeah, but I think we should be able to close that 190, 192.
Yeah. I want to see at 232.
Oh,
You know, won't see a whole much
Right,
get there. I know. It's heading that direction. That's where it's flowing to, right? In the long run. So,
I think Alibaba, the more they're shifting to AI, and I use Alibaba, so I see it.
right.
Uh, it's recommending things now to me that would take me hours to find. Right, I
Hmm.
can load a picture and it'll find me exactly who to buy that from at the quantity I want to buy it at. Because before, like when I buy just for one of my businesses, I'm buying like $3,000 worth of stuff, right? But there's
Yeah.
some places where I want to make like a custom mug, and you got to buy 2,000, 3,000 of them. But now with their AI, it'll find me somebody wants to make me 144 of them, which
Hmm.
I can then do, right? It's really come a long way, Alibaba. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Real quick, I went to CVS. This looks pretty great in the Wave 7. I might have to send this to Rogue Moves. He likes this kind of look. 3 big days expansion. K just got started, leaving Golden Zone. And we got the average move above that blue line. So I like this. I haven't touched CVS in a while.
It's basically the
I
cartel.
had
CVS is the healthcare cartel.
sure, close enough.
They
You
put
know,
Rite Aid out of business. They put Walgreens out of business.
it's like a monopoly, right?
Dude, they own the insurance company. They own the dispensary, right? And so there's CVS Caremark, right? So all the shitty drugs they let all the different pharmacists fill, and the money makers you can only fill from their in-house or mail order, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
there's the kickbacks, right? So because they're the PBMs, they get all the kickbacks. It's ridiculous. The problem with CVS, not fractal wise, but just, you know, is the only way you get drug prices down is you kill the PBMs. Okay. And right now, the they've done the first layer. Now, this really, really depends on the midterms. If the midterms go Republican, then I think in the next 4 years, you see CVS get slashed. And what I mean by that is if they lose their PBM business,
Mm-hmm.
they lose a huge chunk of their monopoly, if that is the right word.
Yeah, their
Monopoly, right?
presence in the space,
Well,
right?
the thing is, they don't give a shit about their brick and mortar. It's CVS Caremark, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes the money, right? That's where, you get prescribed a drug and it pays $5,000. That doesn't go to your mom and pop pharmacy. Those have to be force fed to CVS's own distribution center. Then they get a kickback on volume from the drug makers. They're supposed to pass those kickbacks to the end consumers or at least to the pharmacy, right? But they are the pharmacy. So they eat the kickbacks as well, right? I kid you
Yeah,
not. My wife's a pharmacist, and it's another group of people that I know. So I know this very well. It's a racket,
great.
racket. So as long as they
Well,
keep that going, it's going to be great. But
I'll keep
fractal-wise,
that in mind.
it's a different story in itself. Fractals say a different story.
Sure, Fractal Wise stand out this a week just by looking at this. This is great. That's kind of similar to how I played Pfizer calls with Rogue. We see a strong case assignment leave the golden zone and kind of like a cone shape kind of
If it breaks,
compression
yeah.
thing there. If it breaks, yeah,
What
it
band are
performs
we
an
at?
average
What
move,
band are we at?
80%.
Yeah, you can get to 50. You can get
Yeah, I'm
you
thinking
can get up to 90 even.
shares are at 82.68.
It's the options CVS.
They're loaded.
No, so if you
So
you would buy what?
earnings on
You'd buy
February
February's.
11th.
You'd buy February's to buy you time. If you picked up 85s, you're looking at 230, 230 for the 85s, right? If you picked up at the money 8250s, you're looking at 330. But you can get that to, if you get a move to 85, you're looking at those getting up to maybe $4, 450 real quick.
Mhm.
You know, you take a quick hit on that in like 3-4 days, right?
Right.
But the leverage is if you can pick up those 220s and turn them into $5, right? They'd have to get in the
Right.
money by $1 or $2, and uh, what you want to do is if you're buying the Februarys, you want to look at what your if I'm looking at February monthlies, I'm looking at 29 days. I'm looking at the 15-day options, right?
Okay.
So if I'm paying for 85, I was paying on February 85s. I'm paying 230, let's say, right? Today,
Mhm.
those 85s $1. So if you price movement from where we are today, which is at 82.68, then assume that in 2 weeks your calls are going to shed to $1. However, if you're in the money, right? So we get to 85, those contracts are only 262. You really need to get
Okay.
like to 87, right? And if you get to like 87, then this contract in 2 weeks would be worth around 385, 375. And that's how you figure out really quickly where your depreciation looks like if you're holding this for 2 weeks. Now, flip side, if you get this in, let's say by next Friday, right, you're going to have a lot more holding, you're going to have a lot more dividend money in there, right? So that same contract, right, uh, at the money would be around, if you got up to 85, the contract would be around 340. If you can get that done in a week, let's say, right? And if you can get
Mhm.
that like $2 in the money, so if we get to 87, right? Because we're owning the 85s, you're looking around 480, 470, 460 is what those contracts would be worth, right? It's really good
Mhm.
to have an idea where your contracts would be with Theta if you're holding it for like 2 weeks or a week. So you kind of have a ballpark figure of where you're looking at. So you don't pick a contract where you're like, damn, it did everything I wanted, but it didn't do it quick
Mhm.
enough.
Right. I probably, if I'm gonna buy calls in this tomorrow, right? If I was gonna find an entry for that, I would not want to hold date. There's earnings on February 11th, and they're expecting lower earnings since last earnings report. And past few earnings reports, past four earnings reports, the earnings been lower and lower as time goes on.
So
So
a lot has to do with
whole lower drug cost is killing them,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Right.
there's a lot of political pressure on PBMs,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But there's the other thing. There's the IV pump, right? There's the IV pump.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you can look at, right? So you might just, if the price drifts higher, you're also going to get a pump into IV up to the 10th, right? So you want to probably exit uh, right then and there. But look, you get, if you can get to 85, you'll make 50% on your money, right?
Hmm.
Which isn't a banger per our standards, but That's a damn decent play.
I take it, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Before I came to RCG, I used to have a 20-40 rule on options, right? You try to get 40%, and your stop is at 20%, right?
Gotcha.
Obviously, high quality plays, right? Not just everything. So you're looking at a high probability transition, right? And it's a 2-to-1 ratio, right? It's just what it is. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. You keep that kind of ratio, it works. What Russell likes to do is, for example, pick up like the 90s, right, at like 77 cents and let that run to $3, right? And then you get 300-400%. He's really good at playing that. I still have to wait for him to show me that. I can't read it as well as he can. It's just, so that many years
Yeah,
fractals, he just sees things that we don't see yet.
for sure. 85. That would bring us to. Okay. So for wave 50, no, what was it? No, that was wave 100. For wave 100, CVS to close is 85.15. We would see, yeah, it's a 50% band, like you said, AVP. I think the average move is possible to perform, but yeah, definitely 50% band.
I would buy
to
the
be hit.
February, holding it latest to February 10th, right? If you can't get your results by February 10th, then you can parlay it as a an ER play, but
Sure.
you're gonna get IV crush the next day.
Yeah.
Drop your premium unless you get a huge positive move, right? If you don't get a positive move, you're gonna get IV crush on the 11th, the next day, right?
Right. Right. It was a
So
98 open state up there.
yeah, no, it's got open states. There's no it gets me. I still have to digest this. When you get into like the 100-day dailies, you're always like at the 5% mark, and it can still go.
Sure.
I'm usually when I see 2%, I'm thinking, okay, we're going the other way, right? So this is like I can't digest it if that makes sense, right? I'm like,
no, I get that. That's how I used to think.
no, it's going to take me time. Like I said, it's just not something.
Yeah, I think of it like as like a freight train. It's gonna take a lot for it to slow down and to go or just go the other way. Come to a stop and then go backwards. It's not gonna just immediately come backwards. When things make new highs, it continue to make new highs most of the time, and then it goes sideways and pulls back. So, and I'm seeing the overall flow on the longer term of CVS wave 100. We have 85.15. I would think maybe short term calls or whatever that closes and then makes L1, which would validate our wave 10 thesis for quick upside before earnings. A lot of times it rallies before earnings and then it falls, like we saw with Intel today. So, regardless, short term, I think has some upside. What do you think about this milk? Has some potential regarding the pictures I posted. Go ahead, AVP.
Look, is here. I just have your screen up, so.
Oh, my screen's all messed up now.
I wonder, can we pull? If you do option analyzer, can we pull the ceiling? Can we pull the ceiling on the market makers? I gotta learn all of this better. Do me a favor, hit load, press load.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask somebody's really good. I want to see if we can figure out. No, it's got to load first. It's got to load. You gotta press load.
I thought I did.
No, because you would have seen the options on the bottom. Then you'd have to check the options.
Yep, no problem. All right. Well, I pressed load. What am I missing? Something here?
I don't know why it's not loading, but maybe it's because of which
Did I
one
press
you're
it?
on.
I don't know.
No, no.
I think usually I
Go
just
look
hit
on the
load.
7 daily. Go on the 7 daily and see if it works on that. Because it'd
Okay.
be nice to know what the ceiling and floor is. You know what I mean?
I'll do lower days.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Maybe just gotta press load. It doesn't work till you press load. That's odd. Do me a favor. Just do like the standard, like this 7 daily 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let me try on my side.
I don't know. Usually, last time I did this, you just press load and it loads right up.
Yeah, it would just load, right?
I don't know. Maybe I'm having problems with my fractal tonight. I don't know. I mean, I've been kicked out 2 times now. Maybe it's something on my side. I don't know.
You didn't get the hint yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just put CBS on. Give me 1 second. Load it up and option analyzer.
Here's another thing. I'm gonna read it aloud real quick. It came out today. FDA warns that CVS's health wound gel products may cause infections due to production issues, with 3 serious injuries reported. Well, that's not good.
Yeah, I know. So
But this happens
I'm not
today.
getting it either. I'm not getting it either. Let me
No.
try and just spy. Let me do spy and see if I get option analyzer. Just spit it out. Option analyzer, spy, load. Yeah, it's thinking. Yeah, it loads on spy. Maybe we have to do it during options open hours, possibly.
Oh.
That could be it. But you know what I'm thinking, right? If you click
Yeah.
off a few things
Yeah.
and you can see the ceiling and the what do you call it? That would be pretty cool.
Sure. I mean,
Right?
I can load up
And
options, average strikes. Here, show options. I can do that.
that won't show you the ceiling and the floor.
No, but just to see the options.
What I think will help, I don't know if it's going to help, but I think what I want to look at is, tomorrow when it's on, right, we'll just take a screenshot. And I really go to ask Russell the next time he's willing to speak, if I want to
Mhm.
look at a February, right, a month out, do I check
Right.
all of it or do I just check the one that I want to look at, right? But till then, I probably do both, and then see where the PML is and see where the market makers are positioned, because you don't want to fight positive exposure, right? That also helps. And if you're above PML, then if you're above PML and you're above pivot and you've got room to the ceiling and you've got open states and you're at a good percentage, then
Mhm.
you've got a lot of things you're checking off that's going in the right direction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think you need to. Oh no, so like for Caterpillar, I got it
Oh,
right. For Caterpillar, I got it.
wave 7, 200 days.
Hold on 1 second. I don't think that was it. I think I pressed wave 1, 200 daily. Try wave 1, 200 daily.
Got you. That might be it. It's thinking. Wait. No.
I think it might just be CVS. Then let me try. Let me try Baba and see if it wants to spit it out for Baba. Because now I'm curious, right? I want to know too. Yeah, Baba just popped up in a second. Like it didn't even have
Well,
the
now let me try Baba. Okay. So it's not okay. Gotcha. Yeah, Baba loaded up.
yeah.
So it must be CVS. God damn it.
But it would have been nice to see that if you know
Yeah,
what I
I get
mean,
what you
right?
mean. Yeah. Yeah, but I forget about doing that sometimes. Yeah.
Like you know, I think the ceiling on PayPal was 59.20, the PML was 56, and the floor was 53. So that gives us perspective, right? But I don't know if they did it for just this week's contract or that. So that's something that I should know after all these years, but I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just CVS. I'm trying everything. It doesn't want to
Yeah,
load.
well, that sucks.
I will try tomorrow at when the market's open. Maybe that does it. Oh, it's fucking midnight. All right, I'm
Yeah,
out.
well, let's wrap it up.
This was
I gotta
fun.
wake up, do HVAC shit in the morning.
I'll let you know
So,
I'll let you
get
know
some
how my
rest.
thermostat problem goes.
Yeah, send me a video.
I gotta
Send me a
send.
picture.
I gotta order one. I'll order one
But
tomorrow.
no matter what, no, my answer is gonna be get rid of that fucking nest.
I know, but I need something smart. You know, I like changing shit on my phone. Last night, my wife's like, "It's too hot." I just leaned over, pressed the button on my phone, and that was it. You know, no getting
Yeah,
up,
I get it.
thermostat. You know, like my
Yeah.
dad. I went to check on my dad's house, and the damn thing that you talk about, right? The AAA
Mm-hmm.
batteries died, and the temperature in the
Oh my.
house. He goes away. He winters in India, so he's away for
Mm-hmm.
3 months, right? So I went to his
Wow.
house, and the temperature's 42 degrees in the house. Thank God I went, right? Ripped that
Oh.
sucker down. I don't. The thing is broken or what? I had to
Mm-hmm.
go get batteries, put AAA batteries in, and then I got it to work. I got it to work, you know.
Oh, thank
So I
God.
went back there today. Thank God, 62 degrees. I'm like, thank God, because twice, not once, twice we had the pipe burst when he was overseas, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got to
Scary.
do a rebuild. I got to deal with fixing everything, and I hate that shit.
No kidding.
But hey,
But
listen,
yeah, the
it was
pipes
great hanging out
freeze.
with you, man. It was great hanging out with you.
Yeah, thanks for joining in.
Over some well, and listen to your message. I talk
Yeah.
too much. Just send me a note. You know, it's your show. I just like adding value if I can. You know, you just
No, you totally do.
you know,
I
you
love it.
know? Perfect.
Yeah. No,
You so, man.
I like being the only one talking for 3 hours, 4 hours. So I
I
appreciate
used
the
to do
information
this
you
all
shared.
day.
And
I I
yeah,
used to I used to run
awesome.
a voice channel for Milk where I would just trade all day long and answer questions. You know, I did it for a
Right.
bit, but it was impacting my trading, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I trade more like Milk and just shut up and do what I got to do, right? And live more, you know. But it's nice because I picked up at least 5 things that I need to look at and come up with some
Good.
strategies. So
Good.
it's good. And,
It's well worth it.
you know, Fractals is one of these things where you got to put the time in on the screens, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning stuff from you. It's great. It really is good, you know. So
Great to
thanks.
hear.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Catch you later.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining in. Do this again soon.